Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Governor Steve Bullock wants lawmakers back in Helena to reach what he hopes will be a responsible compromise to help fill the state's $227 million budget hole.
And now MTN News has learned that Republican lawmakers are planning to expand the session's agenda beyond what the governor has proposed. MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison has the story.
When Governor Bullock announced the special session, he set a very specific budget balancing agenda that lawmakers can consider. $75 million each in budget transfers and temporary tax increases, and a promise that he would order an additional $75 million in spending cuts. But Republicans who control legislative majorities said Wednesday they plan to vote to expand that agenda to consider other items.
I think the majority of our caucus will agree that we just need additional ideas out there in order to balance the budget. And so this is going to give us the opportunity to work with Democrats and hopefully with the governor's office to explore more of these ideas in full.
Sales said just by lowering the legally required amount of money the state needs for a year-end cushion in the Treasury can generate $70 million. Republicans also want to consider accepting $32 million from an account controlled by the owner of the private prison at Shelby without agreeing to extend the prison owner's contract.
They're willing to let us access those funds without even a contract extension at this point. I don't know how you turn that down, or at least really take a good, hard look at it.
And also, the GOP says as much as $30 million may be available from the state employees' health insurance fund.
Before I raise someone else's taxes or make some cuts to let's say health and human services, I don't know why we wouldn't take a look at, make sure that we can access that money without putting that fund into, stressing it.
Republican leaders have made it clear they're not wild about Bullock's proposals to increase taxes on lodging, rental cars, or perhaps the state work comp fund. The governor's office responded Wednesday by saying it's willing to work with whoever is, as they put it, less interested in playing politics and more interested in finding solutions. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
That special session is scheduled to begin next Tuesday at the Capitol.
And while all that financial wrestling is going on, a bipartisan panel of lawmakers votes to block a separate budget cut. The Children, Families, Health and Human Services Interim Committee voted to file a formal objection to cuts proposed earlier this summer by the Bullock administration. The administration said there should be a 3% cut in payments to those providing medical and other services to the poor, disabled, and elderly. The panel said the cuts go against legislative intent, though. The Bullock administration is worried that the vote will force the administration to keep paying money it just doesn't have. The cuts stem from a bill passed by the legislature which outlined cuts that would occur if tax revenue didn't meet targets, and it didn't. Groups providing the services say the cuts would be extremely harmful and go beyond what's actually needed. The administration says it's examining legal options on how to respond to all that. Still ahead in Health Watch, a fatal disease found in deer in southwest Montana, what hunters need to know.
And a personal connection for the star and creator of Broadway's hit musical Hamilton leads him to bring the show to an island devastated by a hurricane.